Good morning, good morning. So, Pastor Rich isn't here, so if you don't like what I have to say, come back next week, and I'm sure you'll like that. So, today, I'll start out by saying this is going to be like a plane ride, and we're taking off, and we're going to hit some turbulence, okay? So, it's going to get a little bumpy, but just stick with me. I'm going to do my best to land the plane as gracefully as I can, and get us to our destination. So, and I'm actually preaching to myself today. You guys just happen to be here. So, if you don't like what I have to say, just say he's preaching to himself. So, but we all need to hear this message. So I'm just going to jump right in here. So, a couple weeks ago, my nephew, he's 32, and he was engaged. I don't know how long was Ryan engaged for, a long time. It seemed like years, like 10 years. It's like the longest engagement ever. They got married, him and his fiance got married over the summer here, and she's pregnant. They had their gender reveal party, and we all wanted a boy because there's me and Ryan, and the rest are girls. My older sister has Ryan, and then girls, and then her oldest has girls, and my younger sister has girls, so we were hoping for a boy. And, they did the gender reveal party, and the blue comes out, and we're all, hey, all right, a boy. So we're excited about that. But, Heather and I were talking, and, the crazy world in which we live in today, we do this gender reveal party. And you know where I'm going with this, because now I can decide what I want to be, I feel like a cat today, so that's what I'm going to be, meow, But wait, you're either male or you're female. You're not whatever, the gender is male or female, and then you have these people that want to be whatever they want to be that day when they wake up. You have the pro-abortionists, my body, my choice, right? And then over here you have the people that don't want to take the jab, and for some reason, somehow, it's no longer their body, their choice, but over here, it's my body, my choice, I can abort if I want. And I could respect them, even though I totally disagree with them, if they were consistent all the way across the board. But they're not. So that kind of offends me, no offense. It kind of angers me. And that just kind of, I think where we are in society today, I think all of us get offended easily, more easily than ever. And then, I think as Christians especially, we get more offended, more angry at things. And why is that? Because, we're supposed to be the disciples of Jesus. So maybe we look at it, it's our job to be offended. Or, it's our job to point out the sins of other people. Or it's our job to gripe about culture. And we're supposed to be angry, and we're supposed to stand up for the truth. Because after all, if we really love Jesus, these things are going to anger us, and then we need to be offended by it, and it's going to make us mad, and we need to go fight for these social sin injustices and say something. But if we're honest, I think we all get offended. We all have things that offend us. And I like to think that I'm not an easily offendable person, unless you attack Heather. I might get offended at that. Might get a little angry. Or maybe if you say something about, one of my kids or something, I might take offense to that. Or, I don't know, maybe you don't like this message. Maybe I'll take offense to that. I don't know. Or the church. You don't like the church. So I might take offense to that. Or my clothes or the gym. So maybe I do get offended easy. I don't know. But, all of us, we have things that offend us. So my goal today is, if we already hit some turbulence, we're going to hit some more, is to help you get over your anger and your offense. So let's pray, and I'll carry on here. Father, I just thank you for this time of coming together and able to share your word, share some truths. Help us not to be just hearers of your word, but to actually be doers, to go out and put this into practice, because I know I need to hear it on a daily basis, because we let so many things come in and anger us or offend us, And if we could just see things the way that you see them, we would all be better off. So help us to do that. And we just thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so we're just going to jump in here to James chapter 1, verse 19. Okay, it says, and James is the brother of Jesus, so, it's kind of like, was it E.F. Hutton? When he speaks, people listen, So James, the half-brother of Jesus, says something. I believe it has some weight and validity to it and some merit. So he says, my dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Now, I'm not a Bible geek or anything, but there's some, if you go back and read the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Jesus is asked directly over 150 times. So he's asked a lot of questions, okay? He answers 3 of those questions directly. So he's quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to get angry. Let's, like I say, no offense, but let's put offense/anger here, okay? Because we have things that we get angry about. We have these minor things that we get angry about. Maybe like you get cut off in traffic, you get the middle finger, or you accidentally cut somebody off in traffic, because I've done that before. I didn't mean to, it just happens, and then they give you the middle finger, and it's like, hey, I'm sorry, dude, I didn't mean it. Or this is one of my favorite ones here. My stepdaughter, she'll text, hi, Chris. I answer, and I see the bubbles, doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. I'll put, hey, Hal. And she ghosts me. And 5 hours later, hey, I was just wondering, you were there, where'd you go? Come on. But good to know it's not just me she does it with Alex, she does it with Heather, so I was a little relieved it wasn't just me. But then you have, you guys like to go to the movies. Movies are a thing where you could take offense to a lot of people or get angry because you get the people that talk to the screen. That's right. It's like, wait a minute. Just keep that inner dialogue in your head. You don't need to shout it out to everybody. Or, you got your phone here and somebody texts you or somebody texts somebody else and they're by you and then the screen lights up, So it's like, that annoys me, offends me. Angers me maybe a little, but not much. Just more of an offense, don't be so stupid. But then you have, let's escalate it, because you have the social media. And I got off of social media other than for the gym, and I kind of handed that stuff off to Haley, because there's so much since, the election in 2016 and 2020, and there's all this stuff, and it's, this and this. And people want to have their posse of people, and I got my 50 people that agree with me, and yeah, let's jump on, and you got this meme and that meme that says this, and they're funny, or maybe you find them offensive. And then you have the vax people and the no vax and the mask and the no mask, and it's just all this stuff, and I was like, just kind of, I'm out, I'm tapping out. Or then people get offended over the leaders. You got the visible leaders, orange man bad, I'm tired of his tweets, I'm offended by his tweets, Or Sleepy Joe, he can't put a sentence together, and somebody says that, oh, well, that, he's 80-some years old, it's like, hey, so we offend each other. Here's one that really offends me, is when people kneel for the national anthem. So that's something that bothers me. My dad was in the military, he was a Marine, is a Marine. There's other men in here that served, and they'll tell you, what, it's their right, they have the right, and we fought for their right. And I agree with, you did, but to me it's just totally disrespectful to them and to everybody else. So then we get the issues where we're just angry of whatever your hot button topic issue is. I have no idea. You fill in the blank. But we get angry because people don't get angry with us. We want people to get angry with us. And it's like, oh, that's just so irritating, isn't it? I mean, when you have an issue and you get irritated, don't you want people to be irritated with you because you feel a certain way? I mean, I do. Then you have the people that are just easily angered. Anything just angers them. And then you have the people that get angry and they have a hard time admitting that they're angry. Then there's just some people that love to be angry. I mean, have you guys been around people like that? I mean, there's people that you just seem to, hands go up all over. I know people that love to be angry, you know. Remember when we had small groups here? And maybe we'll get back into that someday. But some of the small groups would be, we watch a video and then we're asked some questions and we get into the dialogue of it. And maybe we start talking about some of this stuff, a hot button issue like kneeling for the national anthem or something. Or maybe I'm at the gym and people got the news on and they want to talk about that. And, then you got your little holy huddle and people agree with you. And then you feel morally superior because you have, this tribe of people that agrees with you. And it's like, we're right and you're wrong. Or they're just evil. Or they're just idiots. Or they're just evil idiots, It's like, where are you? It's just people, we want everybody to agree with us because we have that in us. But my question to you guys is, how effective is your anger? Is it working for you? Is it making you more like Jesus? Is it pointing others to Jesus? The rest of James here, chapter 1, verse 19 and 20, it says, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Because, verse 20, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. So you have human anger over a small offense. Maybe you have human anger over a major betrayal. Or you have this human anger over opposing political views. I don't know. Or the middle finger in the parking lot. I don't know. But your human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. And you might say, well, Chris, but my anger is a righteous anger. And it's righteous because I know it is because I'm angry over sin. Which I could say it's somebody else's sin that we get angry about. So is it really a righteous anger or is it a self-righteous anger? Now let me give you some examples here just so you don't... am I hitting some turbulence here? I don't know. If not, we will here, okay? Okay. We're going to talk about the self-righteous anger here, okay? You're going to criticize somebody over their language. Man, can you believe he talks like that? Man, she talks like a truck driver. Can you believe that? Yet, you ignore your own spiritual pride. It's like, oh, I'm so much better than that. I'm glad I don't talk like they do. Man, we've been there. We've done that. Here's one. You're going to judge somebody for their sexual sin, yet you're going to ignore your own gluttony. I mean, you're going to judge somebody for their sexual sin, but hey, what's your body fat? What's your BMI? You're going to ignore the gluttony that you have, Am I stepping on toes yet? I don't know. Okay. But we always think our anger is justified because it's our anger. So we can justify it any way we want. So how effective is your anger? Is it helping make the world a better place? Is it changing people's minds? Is it bringing more joy to those around you? Is it bringing peace or is it bringing division? Is it bringing happiness? Is it more loving? So, if you're going to check out here, this is the one thing I want you to get. I have two other points I'm going to get, but I want you have to decide, do you want to make a point or do you want to make a difference? Because a lot of us are good at making points. And we can get on social media and we can get our facts and we can back up our belief system. But are you making a difference? Are you doing it out of love? Are you doing it out of spite? What's the motive behind that? There was a really smart guy, a Pharisee. This is in Matthew 22. He went up to Jesus and he asked him, hey, what's the most important thing? And you guys know this answer. Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it, to love your neighbor as yourself. So my question is, can I be angry and love people? Is it even possible to be angry and to love somebody? I don't know. I'm going to let you answer that one. Jesus, he didn't call us to be right. Jesus called us to be loving. Yeah, but I got to be angry to fight all these social injustices in the world. I got to be angry. You know what? Time out. When the military, when they go into battle, they have a plan. They don't go in all angry and ticked off. They have a plan, and they're going to follow that plan. The policemen, when they go to a domestic dispute, they're not going in all angry. God bless them. They're going in to help, to de-escalate a situation. Like, I wrestled in school. If I went in and I was angry at, I'm going to wrestle Cloyd over there. Dirk, you're a little bit more, we're about the same age. Sorry, Cloyd. And I'm just mad at Dirk, and I'm going to wrestle, angry. I'm going to spend all my energy on my anger, and he's going to beat me. You know, you have to have a plan of attack. And as disciples of Jesus, how do you battle against the forces of darkness? You can only do it when you're leading with love and not anger. You're not trying to make a point. You're trying to make a difference. So, how do we let go of anger? And how do we overcome our offenses? First, you need to lower your expectations of others. I think this is huge. Heather and I, we have a great marriage because we have our expectations really low, don't we? We don't expect much, you know. Oh, that's Chris. That's Chris. He's going to be Chris, you know. I know Heather. She's got to do the gym and get her exercises in, you know. So we have our thing, you know. We have low expectations, you know. And instead of saying, like, I can't believe he would do that. I can't believe she would hurt him that way. You know, we need to realize they're just people. In 2 Timothy verse 3, or 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 2 and 4, says this: people will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Let me ask you this. Are you people? I'm people. I'm people. So if we go back to the beginning there, he says, people will be lovers of themselves. I mean, I like myself. Sorry. Lovers of money. Disobedient to parents. Have you ever been disobedient to a parent? Yeah. We're people. We all have been there and done stupid things, you know, without self-control, not lovers of good. I mean, the list is pretty extensive there. So why are we shocked when people sin? When people screw up, when people let us down? I know there's another issue there, you know, trust, and, you know, I trusted this person. That's another topic for another day. But sometimes we just get so hung up on people, and they let us down. Sinful people do sinful things, but not Jesus, because Jesus was perfect. I'm going to let you down, so lower your expectations of me, okay? So, right? Yeah. See, Mary's laughing. Yeah, Chris, you're going to let me down. So, but Jesus was never shocked by self-centeredness of people, you know? I mean, remember the woman at the well? She was married 5 times and living with somebody else. So there's 6 people. So Jesus isn't surprised by somebody's scandalous behavior. He wasn't like, hey, Peter and John, come here. Hey, don't look over my shoulder, but that lady at the well, she's been living with 5 different guys. He didn't do that. He loved her. He met her where she was. You got the disciples who are worried about who's going to sit next to Jesus. Who's going to sit next to Jesus? Who's going to sit next to him at the right hand in the kingdom of God? And, when we look at that and read that, you think Jesus would be like, come on, guys, I've been with you for 3 years. Get it together. Come on. You know what I mean? What matters to you? Are you this clueless? And it's like, but he doesn't do that. He loves them because he understands the condition of man's heart. We're people. We're going to sin. Or look at Peter. Peter bragged. Peter boasted. Hey, I'm never going to deny you, Jesus. I mean, he lied. He betrayed. He denied. He essentially stabbed Jesus in the back. He abandoned Jesus. Jesus didn't, get in a small group and say, you know what, guys, I'm done. I quit. And Jesus didn't get on Facebook and have a rant and say people suck and this is stupid and I can't believe Peter, one of my closest friends, would do this to me. He loved Peter. He forgave Peter. So number 1, we need to lower our expectations of people because we are all sinful. Secondly, we need to raise our gratitude for God's grace. Lift your hand if you never sinned. Look at that. Nobody's ever sinned. Do we all still deserve God's love? I mean, we think we do. So, you're saying you're saying you guys lied before, right? Maybe you cheated. Maybe you stole something, or you looked lustfully, or you envied. Maybe you gossiped behind one of your friends' backs. Maybe you farted in the elevator. I don't know. You say, well, that's not a sin. It is when you're in there and it smells, it is. So, I got to make it a little funny in here every now and then, so. But Jesus says, it is by grace you have been saved through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it's the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast. Remember, Peter, he boasted, I'm never going to deny you. I'm always going to be there for you. But guess what? He denied him. But Jesus forgave him. It's all about God. It's all about God. But you're going to say, well, they lied to me, Chris. You don't understand. He's so arrogant. They stole from me. I've lied. I've done things I'm not proud of. I've done things I know you guys have, and I'm not going to list them all because I need grace from you guys. But I need grace from God. See? Got my props here. And I don't want to minimize anybody's hurt because I know some of you guys may have a deep wound. Maybe molested as a child. Maybe, a spouse, infidelity, lied. I have no idea. I'm just saying those things are horrible. But we want to be careful not to feed the anger. We want to be careful not to add fuel to the fire of those injustices. Well, I'm right, and they're wrong. And when we think that, then we think we can carry our little stones with us. We keep these and we carry them with us wherever we go. And we want to whip them out whenever we can. Oh yeah, you hurt me. You know what? And we'll get ready to throw it. And it's not just a little whip. It's not just a little Good catch. Not just a little, it's not like that. It's a throw it hard. Some people like to carry these big ones around because they want to slam it down. We have slam balls at the gym. That works pretty good instead, okay? You don't have to break the floor, Well, Chris, they hurt my child. They let me down. They're spreading false information about me. They voted for the wrong person. Their view on masks is wrong. Their view on the vaccine's wrong. Do you guys remember John chapter 8, the woman that was caught in the very act of adultery? You guys remember that? When I went to my previous church, we would always put on a passion play, or I guess that's what you call it. And that scene always stuck out in my head, because we would act, and, you bring the lady in actually brought her in from the back, and she'd be screaming, that blood-curdling scream, let me go, let me go, But remember, she was caught in the very act. She was caught in the very act of adultery. And we throw her down in front of Jesus and say, Jesus, this woman was caught in the very act of adultery. The law says to stone her, but what do you say? And then y'all know what Jesus did. He knelt down and, he drew something in the sand. And he stood up and he said, you who are without sin, you can be the first one to throw a stone. And what'd they do? They all had their stones, and they just kind of had to throw their stones down and walk away because they all had sinned. Not any of them could throw one stone. See, Jesus, he didn't call us to be right. He called us to be loving. And I understand some of you have some deeper hurts than others. Just don't be carrying those rocks and those stones and those boulders around with you for all your life, Because your anger is going to justify you to carry them around. And you may be 100% right. But Jesus didn't call us to be right. He called us to be loving. My goal isn't to make a point. My goal is to make a difference in people's lives. That's where I want you guys to be. That's why I say I'm preaching this to me today. I don't want to just make a point. I do sometimes, but really, I want to make a difference. I really want to make a difference, and I want you guys to make a difference as well. My goal isn't to convert you to my view on said topic, whatever it is, okay? That's not my goal. My goal is to point you to the cross. So that gets back to where we were at the beginning. We need to be quick to listen. We need to be slow to speak and slow to get angry. Because human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires. So, my goal for you guys, if you have any rocks or boulders or bricks, to drop them. Let them go. It's not producing anything godly. And hand that over to God.